A Florida man attacked an ATM machine for giving him too much cash. A Florida man carjacked a street sweeper. A Florida woman was caught stealing mangoes. Another Florida woman was caught hiding guns and drugs inside her. And a Florida man stabs another for stealing his pastry. These are the weird stories for Friday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian inside a closet, and the only daily weird news podcast that on Fridays does all the weird news from Florida. That's right, we call it Florida Friday on Weird AF News. Thanks for joining me, and I think you're going to like these stories, and some of you sent them to me. I appreciate that. Let's go. A Florida man punched an ATM machine for giving him too much cash. Don't you hate when the ATM gives you too much cash, guys? That really gets my goat. I never punch the ATM when that happens. I just run away real fast. Okay, let's find out about this, what seems to me, honest Florida man that also has a little anger issue. Cocoa, Florida. A Florida man told investigators that he punched an automatic teller machine because it gave him too much cash. The arrest report says that 23-year-old Michael Joseph Oleksik caused about $5,000 in damage to the ATM machine at Wells Fargo. That's a lot of damage to the ATM machine, man. Was there enough cash to cover the damage for you, buddy? I have a strange feeling that he's not going to be allowed to use that cash to pay for the damages because it's probably not his cash. An arrest report here gives us a little bit more information. Turns out the bank manager came out and confronted him, this guy Oleksik, while he was punching the machine, asked him why he was punching their ATM machine. He says the reason is because it was giving him too much money and he didn't know what to do because he was in a hurry for work. Okay. Don't you hate to be held up for work by a large cash delivery? I hate that. Look, I'm trying to get to work. Stop trying to give me all this cash, okay? The Florida man is a very conflicted individual, as you can see, highlighted by this story. On the one hand, he's like, you know, I can't take this money. It doesn't belong to me. I am trying to get into heaven. I want to be the first Florida man to get into heaven, actually. But also, I'm very agitated that this ATM will not stop giving me the money. What should I do about it? Go into the bank and tell somebody? No, you know what? I'm going to put my fist through it. Do I have dynamite in my trunk? I'll blow this machine up. Very, wants to solve a problem, just doesn't know how to go about it. It's like, the cashier gives him too much change at the checkout. You just gave me way too much money. Psh, knockout. A Florida man was arrested after stealing a street sweeper. I can't believe it's real. Yeah, a street sweeper. Are you familiar with this vehicle? Do you have it in your country? We have them in the United States. I'm not quite sure what they do. I know the purpose is to clean the street, but from my observation of what a street sweeper actually does, it doesn't seem like it cleans up much of anything. It seems to move the debris from the side of the street to the center of the street and then drive off. That's what I see a street sweeper's function as. From my observation, I've been around a lot of street sweeping activity living in New York City and Los Angeles. I never thought in my wildest dreams that someone would carjack a street sweeper because of the lack of speed. I mean, you're not really going to have a swift getaway. Maybe this guy had an alternate plan, though. Let's find out. An 18-year-old Florida man, awfully young. Well, maybe this is a career move for him. He's like, I'm thinking about getting into the sanitation industry. I might want to operate a street sweeper. Who knows? I've never operated one. I wonder if they're easy. Could you? They seem easy to steal. Let's find out. Oh, yeah. Pretty easy to operate, too. What are they chasing me? What are these sirens? Look, I'm just trying to have a career here. So this 18-year-old Florida man just trying to clean up the community. This guy was taken down and arrested after an early morning carjacking of a street sweeper. It occurred at 4 a.m. My goodness. This guy was getting up at the crack of dawn to clean the community. Just trying to just be a helpful citizen in Florida. There's not that many of them, by the way. Helpful citizens in Florida trying to make Florida a better place, like this fella. They're not naming him, but it did take place in Flagler County. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office was notified to be, quote, on the lookout. An armed subject, they say. He was wearing a hoodie and had dreadlock-style hair. He was driving a street sweeper that was taken during an armed carjacking in Daytona Beach. He actually took the street sweeper with a gun. You just get off, get down. You're not doing a good job, buddy. Let me show you how it's done. I mean, of all the cars to jack a sanitation department vehicle, what is wrong with you? You're armed. You could take, I don't know, any car on the street. Can you not? You could grab a Lambo, a G-Wagon, something like prestigious, something with a very swift getaway speed, because you know they're going to come for you eventually. How are you going to get away on a street sweeper? What do they go, 35 miles an hour tops? I mean, that's why I can't help but think there's another motive for this guy. And he just really wanted to clean the environment. It's like, you missed a spot. Get out. Let me show you how it's done. You missed a spot, bro. A woman in Florida is caught on video stealing mangoes. A fruit thief is on the loose. It's the great mango heist of 2022 in Florida. Alert, alert, everyone. There is a mango thief on the loose somewhere in Florida. That's how the article begins. Alert, a fruit thief. I think we got bigger problems than stolen mangoes in Florida. That's just me. People are stealing sanitation department vehicles, for one. It says here, this woman in Florida who stole the mangoes should be considered armed with mangoes in her biking shorts. And anyone that aerodynamic should be considered dangerous. She's very, very aerodynamic. It's a video on the Floridaman Instagram account that shows the world that this lady has stolen the mangoes. She's wearing full biking gear, spandex shorts, and a helmet. In the video, she climbs a fence, jumps into a yard, starts grabbing mangoes off a tree and shoving them down her biking shorts because they have no pockets. I don't know if you're familiar with biking gear, but the clothing doesn't have pockets. It's pocketless gear, so you can drive faster for some reason. Now, there are no details as to whose yard this is or who this mystery woman is. And the other question is stealing mangoes a punishable offense in Florida? Turns out, guys, it is. According to the Miami-Dade County's Code of Ordinances, hard to believe that they have a Code of Ordinances, the way people operate in that area. But they do. They have laws. It seems like a lawless state overall, but if you dig a little deeper, there are actual laws in Florida. It says here, it is unlawful for any person to take, carry away, or even damage any plants, fruits, plant products, or nursery stock contained within any nursery or private or public property without the consent of the owner of the property or his or her agent, and a violation could result in upwards of a $200 fine. So there you have it. Of all the things that you can't do in Florida, taking fruit is one of them. Unfortunately, there's a lot of fruit growing in Florida as well. It's a very fruity state. I know it's hard to remember that. Florida is a huge producer of mangoes and oranges and lemons. Because when we think of Florida, we just think of all the meth production, really, don't we? I mean, we think about all the public urination production that's going on over there. The men that, how shall we say this, like to show their genitals in Walmart parking lots. When we think of Florida, we think of these things. But there's a lot of delicious fruit there. Yeah. And then there's a lot of people shoving them down their pants, putting mangoes where no man will go. A gun and drugs were found inside a woman after an arrest. You heard that right. Inside a woman. A Florida woman is behind bars following a traffic stop and an arrest that revealed she was concealing a gun, some meth, and marijuana inside her body. Ooh, how'd she fit so much inside her body? According to the report by the law enforcement, Deputy Moore was on patrol at 11:15. He observed a Chevy S10 pickup truck without taillights traveling. So the deputy initiated a traffic stop, of course. Officer Moore noticed the driver, who's been identified as 49-year-old Shirley Johnson, had dilated pupils, and Shirley was sweating profusely as well. Of course she was. She has drug and drug paraphernalia inside her. I'd be sweating profusely as well if I got pulled over with guns up my, well, nether regions. Let's just keep it rated G for the kids here. Now, she admitted to being on probation for drug-related charges, but denied having any narcotics inside the vehicle or on her person. On her person is the key word. She's right. She doesn't have them on her person. They're in her person. There's a big difference, okay? And as you know, legal speak is very important come trial time, you know. My client did not have drugs or drug paraphernalia on her person, as she has been accused. No, they were in her person, not on her person, Your Honor. She should be let go. Now, it says here, at some point, the Deputy Moore was given consent to search the vehicle and the Florida woman's purse. Okay? And you can search the purse. You can search my vehicle. I'm pretty confident you won't find anything. While the officer was conducting the search, the Florida woman took it upon herself to help out and began emptying out her pockets. This is when she placed several .22 caliber bullets and a baggie on top of the truck. The baggie contained a Suboxone pill. She was placed under arrest and transported to the county jail. As standard booking process practices, she was x-rayed by the corrections staff, and what they found was quite shocking. Inside our Florida woman's vaginal cavity was what appeared to be a gun and 2 baggies. A gun and 2 baggies inside her vaginal cavity. These items, of course, were immediately retrieved following the shock and awe, and it was discovered that she was concealing a .22 caliber revolver inside of a holster. In a holster as well. She could fit a gun and the holster in her vaginal cavity. There's a lot of room in that vaginal cavity, I'm going to say. I mean, wow. Most people would just put the gun up there if you could fit it. I mean, to have the holster as well? That's like, I mean, how do you beat that? You put it, it's still in the box, the original box, and then you put that up in the box? Okay, so that wasn't all. .22 caliber revolver in a holster. Also, there was a baggie containing approximately 4.1 grams of a crystallized substance that they tested. Can you imagine what it tested positive for? Go on. It doesn't take much thought. Methamphetamine, of course. That wasn't the only baggie in there. There was another one. A baggie containing 2.1 grams of a green leafy substance. Oh, believed to be marijuana. Believed to be, well, I don't think it's oregano. She put it up her yoo-ha. Ha-ho. Her hoo-ha. I forget what you call it. An argument in Florida over who ate a pastry leads to a stabbing. Orange County, Florida. Okay. Florida man is accused of cutting his roommate with a pocket knife during a fight. The fight began with an argument over a toaster strudel. Are you guys familiar with a toaster strudel? A delicious breakfast pastry. I enjoy them very much. They make them in various flavors, such as raspberry and blueberry and strawberry. A deputy had to be called to the Nightshade Student Living Community, which is near the University of Central Florida, a little after midnight. According to the report, a resident told the deputy that he was stabbed by his roommate after the two were arguing over past incidents where someone ate a toaster strudel that did not belong to them. Oh, man, how pathetic. This didn't even happen in real time. I mean, I can see if you came home from the bars late night, you're drunk, you're high, all you want is that toaster strudel that's in your cabinet. You're thinking about it. You're like, oh, man, yeah, that's going to really hit the spot. Oh, I'm so messed up, man. Thank God I got that pastry waiting for me when I get home. And then you get there, your roommate's eating it. Your roommate beat you to it, eating your toaster strudel. Then, yeah, I can see a fight ensuing. but not over a toaster strudel that was ate back in 2018 or whenever this one. Still carrying this around. Remember what you did? I'll never forget it, man. You ate my strudel. Yeah. So how did this all go down? Do you even want to know? Should I bother? Or should we just chalk this up to shenanigans? Let's get some more information. Well, we're here already. We might as well. All right, we got a 21-year-old named Griffin. This is the roommate that did the stabbing. Griffin told the deputy that his roommate had stolen his pastry, so he started shooting it on his phone. Video of, the kid eating his pastry, I assume. This is evidence. That was when the roommate slapped the phone out of his hand and then picked it up and held onto it. In response, Griffin used some pepper spray on his roommate and then took out a pocket knife for protection. Okay, all right, this escalated quickly. He slapped your phone out of your hand. You got to pepper spray him and then pull out a knife? By the way, what are you carrying around pepper spray in your kitchen for? Is this what's going on here? It says here, both men and a third roommate each recorded portions of the fight that ensued, which was then reviewed by the deputy. We live in a world now where both people fighting are actually recording at the same time. You want to go? You want to go? All right, hold on. You got your phone ready? Yeah, I got my phone ready too. All right, let's do this for the gram, baby, for the gram. People can't just get in fights anymore. They have to take selfies in the middle of it. I'm dumbfounded. So what's the fallout of all this? Well, we have someone who's pepper sprayed and cut on the forearm with a pocket knife, but we have a viral video as a result as well. So it's worth it. It's totally worth it. They tagged each other. Hey, you gonna stab me? Make sure you tag me too. Hey, my friends and fellow listeners. Thank you for being with me for this episode of Florida Fridays. We have reached the outro. I will publish some phone calls after this if you'd like to hear some of the zany messages that I get, including some from our very famous angry Floridaman. I want to thank everybody for sending me Florida-centric articles last couple days. Appreciate you. You can always email me, funnyjones@gmail.com. If you'd like to call the show, 646-450-2012 is the number. And you can follow me on the Instagram at funnyjones to see what else I got going on. If you want any more of me in your life, really. You might not want any more of me in your life. This might be enough of me in your life. And that's totally understandable. I get it. I wouldn't want more me in my life either. All right, that makes no sense. If you would like to support the show, there are a couple ways you could do it for free. It doesn't cost you anything but your time. You could refer my podcast to a friend or a loved one. That's pretty cool. I find word of mouth to be the best way to spread anything. If you'd like to support the show with a couple ducats a month, you can join the Patreon, which is patreon.com/weirdafnews. Pretty cool. So those are the ways if you'd like to support. Of course, you're not obligated to do any of the sort. I'm just grateful that you spent some time with me. That's enough for me. So hope you have a lovely weekend, or you had one, or you're about to have one. And reach out anytime. I'm here for you. Okay, guys? Take care, be safe, and smile.
Yay! Hey, Jonesy, long time no talk. This here's the English Florida man here, and I just wanted to talk to you about this cheese rolling contest that they have over there in the UK. Now, I have some descendants that came from over the pond, and they've told me about this situation that they've done. I've seen it on the internet, and they just roll a big old wheel of cheese down a hill, and them folks just chase it down the hill, and they're just tumbling ass over tea kettle, over and over, just slap happy, just banging down the hill. It's hilarious, man. I gotta tell you. I must tell you, by living here in Florida, there ain't much of a plain, much of a hill, more of a plain type area. So what we do is we get ourselves a nice Yokohama tire, and we get that baby rolling real fast on the flats, and we chase it down. Usually we can catch it. We try to dive in and out of it, over on the interstate and whatnot. Hey, Jonesy, I'm going to listen to the rest of the podcast. I'm going to get back to you. Hey, Jonesy, true story. I must have been about, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I don't know. I was of an age. I was of an age as a child. And I was living down there in Central Florida, and there was a hot air balloon. I know they ain't supposed to be bringing no damn hot air balloons through Central Florida, because, it's not a good idea, man, It's just, there's a lot of wind boats and Disney World and all the things, man. You shouldn't do it. You should not do it, you know what I'm saying, man? So what I'm trying to tell you is that we were at a cookout, right? We were having a cookout, and all of a sudden this rope just came floating in through the sky, just came right through the middle of the cookout. My cousin Daryl, he just reached up and grabbed it, and we looked up, and that rope was attached to a damn hot air balloon. We pulled that fellow down. You know, we pulled him right down. He lost his way. He lost his course. And now we pulled him down. He came. He had a bottle of Champagne, man. I read it right off the bottle. It said Champagne. It was some classy stuff. You know, like some Fresca. I'm sorry, Jonesy. I just cut myself off there on that there. Yeah, so he had some Champagne Fresca. You know, it was alcoholic beverage, you know, if you will. And we gave him a couple of hot dogs. You know, we had some hot dogs, we had some hamburgers. We didn't give him too much because, you know, he didn't throw in on it or nothing. But he landed his damn hot air balloon right there in the middle of our cookout, man. It was quite the sight to see, man. He was wearing a bicycle helmet. I don't know, man. Maybe he was riding a bike up there. I don't know. But you remember Figment of Imagination from Disney World, man? Maybe you've been there. Busch Gardens is more me and your speed, but I understand if you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, my cousin was like, "Damn, man, if I saw that before you, man, I would have just shot that balloon down." You know, I mean, why'd you do that, man? You know, I don't know. Even if you what? No, you don't do that. You just offer him a hot dog and you have some of his champagne.
Hi, just as a disclaimer, I'm a first-time caller. This would be your weirdo from Finland, Lisa. I was just telling a colleague about you, unsolicited, and then I went and checked your website. It says, tell a friend, an ex, or an arresting officer they should listen to the show because it's an iceberg from mainstream news. It really fits my life right now. And then it says, call the show and tell Jonesy what you think about him when you're taking a shower. Well, I can't say that you know what, I do listen to your podcast when I'm in the sauna. Here in Finland, we do this sauna thing. So yeah, sometimes I do put your podcast on. I'm kind of laughing my ass off at the moment. But I just wanted to let you know that I did read this, and I did just share with a friend, and I told him, anyways, I'm just going to get off the phone now because I've never done this before, and this is unfiltered. So I get off the phone, bye, and go back to someone's, and, you know, there's, like, sunshine and shit here, and I think there's, like, yeah, they made me eat freaking cauliflower on the trampoline. Can you believe that? Like, the kids make food, and they call me to dinner, and just because I'm not on time, I have to eat it on the trampoline with, like, just cauliflower. Like, really, what's wrong with people? Ugh. I like cauliflower and all, but seriously. But, yeah, I do actually listen to you in the shower. No, sauna. Sorry, that thing. Bye.
Hey, Jonesy, it's Michael calling from Iowa City. And I was thinking about what you had said about candy bars. And I'm not to the point where I'm really eating them much at all these days. I've pretty much given that kind of stuff up. But I will say that I prefer Hershey's chocolate much, much more to Nestle's chocolate. It's just so much richer and creamier. And like a Nestle's Crunch Bar, that just tastes like low quality chocolate to me. So, I don't really care for plain chocolate at all, but if you put some nuts in it, like a Hershey's almond bar, oh my gosh, I'm there. That is so awesome. So chocolate with nuts, yes. Plain chocolate, no. And then now you mentioned the Twix bar. That's pretty much the top of my list these days. If I were to eat something, I would choose that. Second on the list might be, a Kit Kat or something like that. But when I was a kid, it was the Nestle's $100,000 bar. Now you mentioned the $100,000. It used to be the $100,000 bar when I was a kid. And it was in the mid 80s that they changed the name to $100,000. So you're probably young enough. I'm guessing like in 85 to 86 when they changed the name over. That's probably about when you were born. You've never really revealed your age on the show as far as I know. Maybe you'll address that now that I'm mentioning that. Maybe you'll say something in the outro if you decide to play this. But yeah, $100,000 bar. And they had a great commercial on the TV back in the days. This candy bar was made in 1964, but in the early to late 70s, they would play this commercial. Told exactly what the candy bar was. Let's see here. Come on.
chewy caramel combined with lots of toasted crunchies and a rich chocolatey taste. If you love chewy caramel, this is your caramel bar. It's $100,000 bar.
Okay, now the $100,000. Take care, Jonesy. Love you, man. Good luck with your life, man.